And enantiomers, or mirror images, of monosaccharides are characterized by either D or L. And the characterization or the assignment of D versus L depends on the Fisher projection. So when we look at the Fisher projection, we are going to identify which side the hydroxyl group is on the chiral carbon that is farthest from the carbonyl carbon. So the carbonyl carbon is the C1, and so the last chiral carbon in the numbering system determines whether it's D or L. If that hydroxyl is on the right side of the Fisher projection, it's a D sugar, and if that hydroxyl is on the left side, then it is an L sugar. And by far the vast majority of carbohydrates that are found in nature are D sugars. So let's take a look at these 16 isomers of glucose, and the top 8 are all the D isomers. And when we look at the Fisher projection, here's our carbonyl carbon C1, here's C6, which is not chiral, and C2, C3, C4, and C5 are all chiral. So we're looking at C5, the last, or the chiral carbon that is farthest from the carbonyl group. And in each of these Fisher projections, for these 8 isomers, these 8 stereoisomers or diastereomers of glucose, we see that the hydroxyl group is on the right-hand side. So these are all D sugars. And then the bottom 8 on the slide are the mirror images. So the mirror image of this D sugar is this L sugar right here. So, and the mirror image of this D sugar is this L sugar. So the L sugars are designated by the hydroxyl group on the C5 and the glucose isomers on the left-hand side. So we can see in enantiomers very clearly in the Fisher projection, and if you are to draw a Fisher projection, all you have to do is look at the Fisher projection of the monosaccharide and then just draw the mirror image on the other side. So here is D-glucose. We see the hydroxyl group on the right, and then this is L-glucose, which does not occur naturally. We have to synthesize it. And for every hydroxyl that's on the right-hand side on glucose, C2, C4, and C5, those hydroxyl groups are on the left on L-glucose, C2, C3, C4, C5. And then the C3 has hydroxyl on the left in D-glucose, and C3 will have hydroxyl on the right for L-glucose. So just mirror images D and L, and we look at the hydroxyl positioning on the chiral carbon that is farthest from the carbonyl group.